when I used to be a freight broker, I would have issues all day long, talking to drivers direct, talking to the dispatchers, talking to warehouses and whatnot. And so it's the second to last day of my job here. And I am just hoping and praying there are no issues. And I'm in the hazmat department. So I'm overseeing goods of shipping, hazardous liquids and explosives and fireworks. It was a fun branch to work in. And I used to work with this dispatcher that would, he'd find about 40% of my drivers around the country. And he'd call me maybe 3 to 5 times a day. And he'd always start saying, "Hey, buddy." And he's from this nice old man from Arkansas. And you could kind of understand how the call would go, just has his like pitch and tone for the "hey, buddy." And so if he found a last minute driver to pick up my load, he'd be like, "Hey, buddy." If a driver fell off and couldn't pick it up, he'd be like, "Hey, buddy." And so, I kind of understood, okay, so I get a call from him and I'm on my way home from work. So now the next day would be my last day. I get a call from him on my cell phone and he never calls me. He's like, "Hey, buddy." And I'm like, "Hey, Dennis, how you doing, man?" And he's like, "That full truckload of hydrochloric acid picking up in Dallas, going to Chicago?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, the driver just called. The whole truck's on fire in Kansas." And not only when a truck is on fire, it's a big thing, but when it's hazardous liquids, it's really bad. And so you have to call this specific agency. It's kind of like the guys from Monsters Inc., like the 2319 guys that come in and pick it up. But that was definitely a super interesting final day of my tenure at a brokerage of just, calling the local authorities, hoping that no news crews are coming out that I would have to handle. But yeah, that was having a truck on fire. And I said, "Well, is the goods okay?" He's like, "Nope, whole truck's on flames and whatnot." And "Well, is the driver okay?" "Yeah, driver's out, but he's sad because his truck's on fire." Well, kind of understand that. You're in the middle of nowhere, Kansas, so I would be a little sad too.